Vigilante Flight is intended to be a series that covers what it's like to take part in a full campaign. It is meant to be somewhat immersive, but not milsim. These videos will cover a virtual squadron named after a former Montana Air National Guard fighter squadron, the 186th Fighter Squadron, the Vigilantes. We are not affiliated with the real squadron, and we are not presenting ourselves to be real pilots. Nope, we're just nerds cosplaying, and it's meant to be taken seriously to a point, but Falcon BMS is a game. I can already hear you gnashing through gritted teeth about me calling it a game. Let me break that down for you a little bit before you chip a tooth. As a matter of fact, let me start by explaining what Falcon BMS is exactly. Falcon BMS is a modification of the original Falcon 4.0 game that was released back in 1998. BMS stands for, as far as I know, Benchmark Simulation, which is a group of dedicated modders. They have worked for what appears to be decades without a single dime to keep this game alive. Falcon, the game, centers around a robust, dynamic campaign. In this campaign, militaries from around the globe square off in an actual 4D chess environment. Each side has established win-lose objectives, a set number of units at their disposal, and the ability to bring down the might of every level of combined arms, from rifles to cruise missiles. Falcon's campaign includes them all. AI commanders will give orders down a chain of command that will send ground units into action. The needs of the ground war will generate a need for the air war, and as that comes, ground units will get orders from down on high, and that will generate orders for the air command. While this is all going on, the air war is starting to ramp up. In order to win the war on the ground, the skies must be controlled. AI commanders start creating out orders for everyone in the air tasking order. AWACS, tankers, transport planes, fighters, bombers, spy planes, EW birds. If it has wings and it's going up, it's going up. Missions are passed down from on high to the squadron level where they're fragged into packages, and every sort of possible combat sortie imagined is generated based on the needs of the AI commanders. And what's great about it is these needs are adjustable. You can adjust these as parameters, and they can be changed by the player. So as a player, you know, you're able to make the war as crazy or as realistic or as easy as you want. You choose what squadron you want to fly in, what mission, and what weapons to carry. The waypoints, the intel reports, how you program your radios, how you generate threat points, target points, where to draw on the maps. You have better situational awareness in your HSD. You can micromanage the entire squadron or let the AI do all of the heavy lifting. The options are wide and as narrow as the player decides. The game grows with you, and as you learn, you can take on more roles with deeper responsibility. Within a week of playing, you will be fragging your own missions and even taking almost direct control over the entire air tasking order. This dynamically procedural war churns on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you leave it on. Most people, you could play it in spurts and you could speed up time or slow it down or even stop it. You could run the campaign in real time if you're a masochist, and we've considered it. If you're into real time strategy games, Falcon does this extremely well. You can play the entire campaign from the 2D view and never have to even touch a HOTAS. Now, I don't know why you would want to do that because you're missing out on the second half of the game, which I don't know. I suppose in theory you could get quite a lot of enjoyment, just playing the game without flying the Viper, but that would be absolutely insane because the Viper is love. The Viper is life. Now, what about the study level simulation? BMS is also an accurate virtual representation of several different blocks of the F-16C Viper. Other aircraft are gaining deeper representation as well. The F-15C was recently released as a full-fidelity fighter, and the FA-18 is getting more and more of its own dedicated avionics. Other planes are on the horizon, like the MiG-29. Falcon 4.37 or Falcon BMS is not just a clever name, because the main focus is, of course, the Viper, the Fighting Falcon. For the Viper and most of the Eagle, the avionics, flight model, weapons, flight controls are all meant to be an accurate representation of the real thing. Now, before I get too dangerously close to ripping off the video that got me here, which I will link in the description, Cerberus put out a really amazing video, and like I said, he did his video demystified the fucking hell out of BMS for me, and again, I wouldn't be able to play it if it were. I wouldn't be doing it like I am now, and enjoying it. So but as you'll learn in that video, the flying aspect of this game is secondary to the game itself, and I think that's something that gets overshadowed a lot within this with how the game is represented to people. I think people get, I myself included, I got so locked in on, oh, it's a study level sim, it's a study level. It's like you play DCS, and the fun, at least for me, kind of ends when you get to a point where you have learned the aircraft and you've done a few missions, and the world's not really all that alive, and even multiplayer is kind of rinse and repeat, and kind of feels more like a shooting range and a shooting gallery, or more often, probably because I suck at it, but I get shot down all the time in PvP. I don't get much out of it. However, with BMS, everything you're doing has a purpose. So it's almost like you learn the aircraft, and your reward for learning the aircraft is the ability to play this amazing and immersive sim. So I and my guys that'll be flying with me, like Freezer, I think Pelican's going to start flying with us. I know Upchuck had voiced some. I don't know if he's going to fly with us. I hope he does. A bunch of the guys have talked about winging up and giving it a shot. And so we're going to show you guys what it's like. We're going to go through an entire campaign. We're going to do a flight a day. And we're going to show you the briefing. We're going to show you the flight. We're going to show you every mistake that we make. We're going to show you every critical failure that we have. We're going to show you when we accidentally drop cluster bombs on friendly convoy moving down the road. So like it's going to be, I want people to see that, yeah, it's this crazy, wild experience, and it's like $7. I mean, obviously the HOTAS thing, but still, it's like I'm telling you guys, like I've been waiting for a game like this my entire life, and it's existed for most of my life, and I neglected it. But I'm really glad that I get to experience it now, and we are very happy to share that with you guys. So yeah, Vigilante Flight. We're going to show you the thrill of victory and the agony of our feet.